transfer.
Oh, you don't even need it. Oh, okay. Well, it's like 1%. It's not like
Still,
I don't know. I always do
still,
the
that's
instant transfer
that's how
just to
you
do
know.
it.
That's how you know that you're financially secure if you don't have to do the instant transfer on Venmo.
I guess so. I'm
You
not
can
at
write
that
that
point
shit
yet.
down.
Alrighty. Hopefully, there's no coughing on this episode. I think that was a one-time thing.
Let's go.
Alrighty. Anyway. Hello, everybody. Welcome in and welcome back to another episode of the Going the Distance podcast. My name is Ryan Bonnell, and alongside me is Elijah Span. Today is November 23rd. We are currently live on Twitch, YouTube, all that jazz. We are so close to Thanksgiving. I'm sure everybody's probably home with their families right now. I'm about to be tomorrow, and I know Elijah is as well. So still figuring out exactly what we want to do because, typically our episodes are on Thursdays, but alas, we'll have a plan sooner or later.
Yeah.
But for now, we're going to be talking about some college football playoff reactions, or the ranking reactions, excuse me. Going to be getting into the new USFL, the United States Football League, as well as some winners and losers from this weekend before rounding out the episode, as always, with Love It or Loathe It. But first, make sure to follow us over on social media. Our brand is at GTD_sports on everything other than TikTok. It is at GTDsports.com. If you want to follow our personal accounts, you can see it on the screen there. I'm over at Ryan Bonnell 8 and Elijah is at Elijah Span 19. And be sure, biggest important thing, check out the GTD Podcast Network on our site, GTDsports.com. We got 5 kick-ass shows, hockey down here, betting on the rocks, all of them. Go check them out. And also, this is kind of news, I guess. We were featured in the Fillmore County Journal, Elijah.
Oh, yeah.
That
You
was
mentioned
sick.
that on
That was
Thursday,
sick,
actually.
dude. Oh, I did? Okay, well, I guess I
Yeah.
always said it was like coming out, but now it's officially out. It came out yesterday on Monday. And James Danielson, one of our bloggers, was featured in his local paper, which was, I thought, pretty cool.
Yeah.
Definitely a interesting way of getting some exposure, for the brand.
I'll take whatever I can get.
Yeah, man, I'll take it.
Yeah.
JD killed it too. I loved all of the quotes and everything too.
Yeah, I read it. It was nice.
Yeah. Alrighty, but anyway, before we really get into the nitty-gritty of the episode, we got our highlight and low light from this weekend. Elijah, how was your weekend?
It was good. It was good. College football has been good to me, betting wise. And then NFL has been
That's about it. College football is about it for me.
Yeah, NFL was still good. NFL had some really tough lines this week. Like, I stayed away from most of it. Although I did have a parlay that would have hit, except for the freaking Saints. So, but I'm considering that if Kamara plays on Thursday night, I'm going to hammer the Saints. But the highlight of my week, though, in spite of all the great sports stuff that's going around, is Halo Infinite. So it was a surprise drop last week, and I downloaded it because it's free, and it's awesome.
Bro, we got to play.
Oh, yeah, because are you playing it on your PC?
Yeah, because I never had Xbox growing up, so I never played Halo. But I just got it. I just got it a couple days ago. I mean, it's pretty fun. It's hard for me to really get into it because I've never played Halo, and I'm definitely not going to buy the multiplayer. I mean, the campaign, which I do love that though. The multiplayer is free, and the campaign is what costs money. Because I don't know the story. I just want to.
Well, the campaign's going to be free for me because I have Xbox Game Pass.
So that's sick. Okay.
Yeah. So honestly, if you have Xbox and you don't have Xbox Game Pass, what are you doing? It's so worth it. But yeah, no, I grew up playing. Yeah, I've been playing Halo 3. I was playing Halo 3. I grinded the shit out of Halo Reach when I was 12 or whenever, however old I was when that came out. And this has just been taking me back. It's great. I haven't spent the full $60 on COD, and I haven't touched it since Halo Infinite came out, which kind of is a waste of money. But I bought it with gambling money, so whatever.
It was a win.
Yeah, it was free money, so whatever. Could have bought new shoes with that money though. So yeah, it's super dope. And so legit, if you guys play that, those that are listening, DM me on Twitter and get my gamer tag because I need people to play with. But it's so much fun.
Yeah, we can. I was just playing Fiesta a few hours ago.
I was too. I've been playing it every day because legit, dude, I've been looking for a game that I could just unwind after work and play for an hour or two, and then just go about my day afterwards.
It is really quick.
Yeah, Yeah, and this is definitely like that game that I've been searching for to just kind of like play for a little bit and then do my other shit. So I'm really excited about that. And then my low light is that so I found this gas station that has a crazy amount of beer, like crazy amount. Literally like beer imported from every single different country, like Japanese beer,
Oh
Belgian
shit.
beer, Danish beer, German, like all this stuff. A crazy, like all the IPAs you could find in Austin, which I mean, you could only imagine the amount of IPAs in this town, which is sick. And it's like right next to my house, and it's gonna take all of my money. Like Sunday, I was like, all right, I'm gonna go check out because my aunt told me about it. I just haven't checked it out yet. And I was like, Sunday, I was like, oh, I'll grab beer at this place because HEB is always fucked in the ass just with people.
Oh yeah, I forget HEB is y'all's store down there.
Dude, it's
I know
ridiculous.
it's cool. I know it's cool, but
It's a great grocery store, but there's always just people. It's just everyone's in the way. It's awful. So I was like, I'll go there, check it out. And I got lost in there. And I was only gonna buy 1 6-pack. I bought 2. I was like, I gotta try all these beers, and I know it's just gonna slowly drain just all my money.
I've kind of been doing that at like Kroger, even though like they don't have a shit ton
Yeah,
of options. I'm sure that place has more, but I've kind of like gone through most of them now. I want to find another place like that. But Austin has so much beer. Yeah, you're right. 'Cause, like
yeah.
last time I was there, we went to this tap house or brew house, and I mean I know this is probably common, but there
Pint
was literally
House,
like 5 of them. What?
was it
What?
Pint House?
No, it wasn't Pine
Was it
House. It
called
was
Pint House?
brass. It was like brass, not brass knuckle, like
I don't know. There's a
brass
million.
tap. It was like brass tap.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a million, but there was like yeah, 5 of them like right next to each other basically. And that shit had like over 150 beers on their menu. And I'm like, this is overwhelming, dude. Like, I don't even
Because I
know
want
what
to
the
try them all.
exactly. I'm like, I want to try the best, but I don't know
That's
how to
why
find or like, you know?
I like getting the flights. I just love trying because like in
Yeah, that's what I
college,
got.
I got like I started making a beer wall, and so like I would just buy all the different kinds of beer so I can cut up the box and put it on our wall. Which like you saw it, it was sick.
Yeah.
Um, Definitely very like college, um, and I don't know, but that's like how I started trying a bunch of different beer, and this was like I don't know, checking out this place is pretty sick. So it's definitely gonna take away all my money.
I wish I had a place like that. I'm sure there is probably somewhere like that close to me in Fort Worth, but
I don't know. This is different.
uh, yeah. Oh well. But anyway, on to mine. My highlight isn't really the most exciting, but it is. It's just pretty straightforward. My Bengals won in a must-win game.
Yeah.
We really coming off 2 straight losses, one to the fucking Jets. Coming off a bye week too against a Raiders team that's in shambles right now. This like we had to win that game and we did and we handled it well. I mean, we won by 19 points. We were in control of the whole game. It was fun to watch and back in the playoff conversation. So that is definitely my highlight. And my low light of the week, Elijah and I were talking about this a bit before we started recording, and I've been trying to suppress the emotions from it, but this has been quite possibly my worst string of sports betting of all time. Like last week was horrendous for me. And already this week, Monday and Tuesday, I think I'm like 1-14. Like not even kidding. It is so bad right now. I couldn't buy a win. I don't understand. Literally like 10 minutes before the episode started, I lost a bet where I had a team -2 favored in basketball, by the way, and they were winning the entire game. And within the last 2 minutes, they let the other team go on an 18-2 run and lose the game by 11. Anyway, and then I had Central Michigan +6.5 against fucking Bellarmine. Who is Bellarmine? Central Michigan +6.5. They lost by 7. Fuck me, right? Yep. It's just one of those weeks. You know what? But we got to take it day by day. I can't tilt. We got a unit and a half tonight on Gonzaga first half against UCLA. I believe. And then we're right back on track.
You can do it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm definitely very heavily considering taking UCLA because of your cold streak.
Dude, fuck you. Dude, okay, no,
right?
that's like my favorite bet of the day, though. That is my favorite bet. Bro, listen, Drew Timmy, Chet Holmgren, Mark Few's going to get the boys right.
The reason why I'm not doing it is just because I don't know. Betting basketball has never gone very well for me, so I just stay away in general.
Dude, it usually has for me, but the last fucking week has been I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I may need to go back to lower units.
Yeah.
For the time being.
That is an option.
It's
I had
fun,
to do that.
though.
I had that was a very that was a very hard lesson to learn for me, is that 40 units for me, $40 units for me is way too big.
Oh, $40? Yeah, $40 units.
Because I had like a week. I had a week where, and I was using like $10 units, and then I had one game where I placed like $70, and I went up really big, and I had like a parlay hit, and I was like, "Fuck it, $40 units," and I went down. I lost it all.
Yeah, it'd be like that, especially like after you have a couple winning weeks. You're like, "Oh, dude, I'll start betting bigger," and that's when you lose. Like,
because like I recently went from 15 to 20, or like 22, I guess, whatever.
Yeah, that's what I do.
And I've been doing a lot of 25s and 30 recently, and I've just been really considering just ramping it up, saying fuck it and going to 50, just because my accuracy, I'm at like 80% of the games that I've placed money on for the past 2 weeks. I mean, which is all football. It's all football, so it's been nice, but like I've only won like, let's see, 140, 20, and then 100. So it's like nothing crazy, but it could be if I actually place more money with some grown men money on it, but whatever.
Yeah, last week. See, at least like the week before last week, because like last week was horrendous, but the week before that I won like 10 units. So that was it balances out a little bit, but you just hate to see it. Yeah, you hate to see it.
No, it's just so frustrating because when like you can't win at all, it's just like what, like you're like everything I touch turns to shit.
Yeah, literally, bro. I'm at the point, and I know that walking away wouldn't be the worst option, but the money's not going to make itself back, right?
Yeah. I mean, well, that's what I mean. You know what happened to me? That's what ended up happening to me. I got so frustrated, I just took a step away for I don't know how long, like what, 4, 5, 6 months.
Yeah. See, so, I'm starting to post my bets on TikTok and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep somewhat of a media presence with it if I can.
Yeah, I'm probably going to step away, honestly, again, once football season starts, for the most part, with gambling. Just gambling on other sports just doesn't do it for me. It really doesn't.
See, I love like soccer.
Well, because I just fucking lose. I mean, I love betting on fights. I mean, like, college basketball is fun to bet, but just like in general, just football is just what I know the best and what I enjoy watching gambling on. And then everything else, when I just lose, I'm just pissed off. Like when I lose on football, I'm like, well, at least I got to watch football for 3 hours. But then when I bet on college basketball, I'm like, I just sat through a fucking basketball game and lost money. You know what I mean? Like, see, I just watched this mid-major conf. I just watched fucking BYU and their 8 white dudes fucking drain threes on everyone and lose money. Like, I don't want to.
I enjoy like the mid-major games, and I mean, I know it's like cheesy, like the love of the game, but I mean, I always enjoy watching it. Either way, if I lose, I'm gonna be pissed afterwards. So.
Yeah. Well, I'll probably bet on playoff basketball. I usually do playoff basketball, and then
I mean, you kind of have to. That's one of those. And things.
Then probably the NCAA tournament, and then oh my god, I just realized the bowl season is upon us.
Dude, bowl seasons. I'm gonna go, bro. I'm going so ham for college football.
I might use $50 units for bowl season.
$50 units?
I think I'm gonna do it.
You're nuts, bro.
I'm gonna do it.
You're nuts.
Which, speaking of, let's get right into it with the college football playoff.
Yeah, actually, we've been kind of yamming a little bit, but anyway, college football playoff.
I think I'm here for this.
Yeah, dude, we're talking about gambling. You guys, this is part of the show, but anyway, college football playoff. New rankings came out today, about an hour before we went live. Not much changed towards the bottom, but at the top now we got Georgia at 1, of course. Ohio State leapfrogged Alabama to take the number 2 spot. Then Bama at number 3, and Cincinnati, baby, finally in the top 4 for now. Michigan and Notre Dame make up the first 2 out, and Oklahoma State is right outside at number 7. So What are your takeaways from these rankings?
Before you go any further, you want to pull it up again like we did last week?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So my takeaways is that Ohio State 1,000% deserves to be the number 2 team in the country.
I agree. I think especially because Alabama has shown a few, weak points.
Yeah, I mean, the loss at A&M, obviously, and then they struggled against Arkansas this week. I've been hearing a lot of like offensive line is struggling. They're not the same dominant force that they were last year by any means. But they're still Alabama, so they deserve to be in it right now. I just hope, for the love of God, that all this buzz about a 2-loss Alabama still being in is false.
No, dude. I think there's no shot. I don't think there's a shot they can put a 2-loss Alabama team in there.
There's been a lot of buzz. That they're going to do it.
I mean, if anybody would do it, it would be the College Football Playoff Committee. I mean, but
I mean, like, as much as you could argue, like, oh well, a 2-loss Alabama team is still better than a Notre Dame or an Oklahoma State.
I think they're better than Notre Dame, but not Oklahoma State.
Yeah, well, you could make an argument that they are, but it's just the fact that I don't think a 2-loss team deserves to be a champion.
No, yeah, you're right. That's what I mean. Yeah, because I mean, you're right. Actually, if a 2-loss Alabama team was going up against Oklahoma State or Notre Dame, I think Alabama would win. But in terms of like deserving it, they should be out of the conversation for sure at that point.
Which is kind of a moot point overall, because I do think that we're staring right into the barrel of a Georgia-Ohio State national championship game, which I would be all about.
Yeah, I would actually love that, because I mean, Ohio State, I think they're a top 5 offense right now in the country, going against the number 2 defense in the country. They may actually be number 1 now, ahead of Wisconsin again. Wisconsin and Georgia have been going back and forth, but still, I mean, one of the best defenses, one of the best offenses. That's going to be a hell of a matchup.
I really want to see how they match up. And Ohio State's defense is like definitely night and day from what they were earlier in the season. They've just turned their defense around. I don't know what they did to make it different, but like they have. They're a different team that lost to Oregon. If anything,
100%, yeah.
If anything, you could say that loss to Oregon was good for them.
I honestly think it was. I think, especially because it was early on in the season, if they were to lose that game in like week 10, week 11, they'd probably be screwed. But I don't know, though, because it's Ohio State. But you're right. I mean, I think if Ohio State and Oregon played each other again, Ohio State would beat them by 20 plus. They would clap them.
They'd whoop them.
It wouldn't even be close. I mean, look at what fucking Oregon did to them, which we both called, by the way. Oregon, I didn't think they would smash them like, Utah, Oregon. But I didn't think they would smash them like that. But 38-7, shit. Yeah, if they played Ohio State again, it might be another Michigan State repeat.
It's funny. My friend who like occasionally will bet on my book just so he doesn't like having his own book so he can exercise some self-control. And I already had money on Utah, and he was like, I want money on Oregon. And I was like, no, I already have money on Utah. If I lose, then I double lose. I have to pay the bookie and then pay you. So sorry, not happening. And then I texted him like during that beatdown, and I was like, hey, how about that? And he was like, yeah. I was like, Oregon +3 was definitely like the sexy bet, the bet that was just staring at your face. But sometimes when you're gambling, man, you have to get down to the nitty gritty. You have to get down with the soft sixes, take them home. They'll go home with you every time.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I mean? Like,
it was one of those lines. You just got
one of those lines. You got to know. You got to know how to spot them.
Yeah, they set it up for us, and we went home with it. But back to like talking about Notre Dame at 6. One of my main takeaways just from the rankings, and even the past couple weeks, mostly this week now that they're in the first 2 out, is I hate the fact that Notre Dame might actually have a chance of getting in the playoffs.
Well, flip side is we can definitely bet on Georgia no matter what the spread is.
I mean, that's true, dude. I mean, I bet that would be like a 20-point spread, though. I'm not even kidding. I bet it would be.
I mean, yeah, because last year when it was Bama, it was like a 19-point spread in the semifinal.
Yeah.
It'll probably be something close to that. probably like a 23-point spread. I'd still pick Georgia.
I would too, yeah.
Yeah, so
Notre Dame is so I saw a graphic too of like their recent BCS and like New York Six Bowl appearances and everything, and they've lost like 9 of their last 10 bowl games by at least 20 points. It's crazy.
oh damn, that's
They're so
wild.
bad. But I really think too, and also that's just kind of like the committee's love for Notre Dame, putting them at 6. But I really think Oklahoma State is the better team. I think Oklahoma State is a tad underrated here.
Mhm.
There's also are honestly arguments to put Oklahoma State at 5 above Michigan, but I don't know. And then kind of on the counter argument, I think Baylor is overrated right at 8. It doesn't really make
Mhm.
sense to me that there's, a 2-loss team that lost to an unranked TCU, only 2 rankings above a team they just beat 2 weeks ago. That kind of seems a bit weird to me. I don't know, but I mean, I guess it makes the Big 12 look better. So that's not the end of the world,
Hey,
but I
3
just
teams
thought
in
that
the
was
top
kind of
10.
weird. Yeah, but I personally, I probably would put like Oklahoma State at 5 this week, and then
Yeah.
Baylor probably at 10. I would put Oklahoma a little bit lower even.
Yeah, well, Oklahoma still only has 1 loss, so that's why they have to be top 10. But I agree. I think Oklahoma State, though, definitely has an opportunity to leapfrog Michigan and Notre Dame. Michigan because like they're playing Ohio State this weekend, and so like one or
Yeah.
the Ohio State's going to win that game, um, and so they'll fall. And then if Oklahoma State puts on a good showing against Oklahoma, who's ranked 10 right now, that'd be worthy of a leapfrog over Notre Dame. And then even if they don't leapfrog Notre Dame at that point, if Oklahoma State beats Baylor again in the Big 12 championship, then they have to at that point put them over Notre Dame.
Yeah. Well, in the Big 12 championship, I think there's still a possibility right now for it
Oh,
to
for
be.
OU.
Yeah, it might be a Bedlam rematch. So if Oklahoma, I think it's if Oklahoma wins this weekend, it'll be Oklahoma versus Oklahoma State, because Oklahoma State's
Um,
only other loss is Iowa State, and then they would have the tiebreaker over Baylor because they beat Baylor.
right. But if State wins, then they play Baylor, right?
Yeah, yes, yeah.
Which
So,
obviously the committee really likes Baylor, having them at 8. So
which is kind of weird to see. Usually the committee kind of favors Oklahoma, but they've been going with, favoring the head to head a lot. So, I mean, I guess at least they're being consistent in that sense. But
mhm.
Um, my question though is, would a 11-1, because Notre Dame plays a dog shit team this week, so they're gonna win. But do you think an 11-1 Notre Dame team should get in over a 12-1 Oklahoma State Big 12 champion, or even a 12-1 Oklahoma Big 12 champion? Because Oklahoma could still, even though they're down there number 10, if they win this weekend and win the rematch in the championship game, they're 12-1 champions.
Yeah, absolutely not. Their best win of the season is against Wisconsin, who's currently ranked 14th. Which, yeah, that was a good win.
Overrated, by the way, too.
I
Wisconsin.
think they've kind of improved.
I don't know. I don't trust their offense, but
I
continue with
mean,
what you're saying.
their defense, they're 8-3. I mean, but there's just no way that could happen. Like if you just compare quality wins to quality wins.
Yeah.
Oklahoma State and Oklahoma in this scenario, whoever would be 12-1, has a whole lot more.
Yeah.
So
No, I totally agree. I'm just, what worries me is the committee's bias and love for sucking Notre Dame's dick.
yeah, I have pretty good faith that Notre Dame's going to get leapfrogged with a couple of quality wins by both these teams. They just want to see more from them. And then they're just kind of doing this for, I don't know, fill up some content for ESPN, like throwing them a bone maybe, because or just radio shows in general and podcasts, maybe, possibly. I think that they do that sometimes just so people have more to talk about, generate more buzz around the sport.
Yeah.
With stuff like this, and I think having Notre Dame at 6 is definitely one of those, because I think if they were being real with themselves, Notre Dame would probably be like 7 or 8.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think they should be around like 8 right now, probably. So about about the Big Ten though, it just made me think of this because we're talking about like the quality wins that could come up this weekend, like Oklahoma State getting Oklahoma, Michigan playing Ohio State. So whoever comes out on top, that's going to be a quality win. But if Michigan pulls off the insane and beats Ohio State,
Mm-hmm.
which I called months ago, so hopefully that somehow comes true, which I really, really doubt it. But if Michigan does pull it off, what would the committee do with a 2-loss Ohio State team? Do you think they're done? I think they have to be done.
Probably, I think just Michigan would take their spot. I mean, yeah, Michigan would take their spot.
Because Michigan would also take their spot in the Big Ten championship game.
Right. So they would definitely be done, and they would probably put them at like, I don't know. Yeah, so Michigan would probably slide in to 3, bump Alabama back up to 2, keep Cincy at 4, and then Ohio State would slide the Michigan spot at 5 or 6, and then they'd go to like one of the best New Year's Six bowls, which mean nothing to a program like Ohio State.
That's another one of my questions is like about Cincy at 4. Do you agree right now at this moment that Cincinnati is a better team than Michigan?
I don't know. But what I do know is that they're undefeated, and that means something. And that we have seen for the past, since the college football playoff has been, created, which that the 4 seed and the 1 seed, I don't know, there's always blowouts in the semifinal games. So might as well, instead of seeing Oklahoma or Notre Dame get the shit kicked out of them in round 1, we get to see a new team, an underdog story, with a lesser known fan base and all that, get their chance and maybe put up a game. Because a lot of people forget that last year it took a Georgia comeback to beat Cincinnati in the Fiesta Bowl, I believe.
I forget which bowl game, but yeah, it was close.
It was one of the New Year's Six. It was one of the bigger bowl games, and Cincinnati almost beat that Georgia team. So I'd really want to see that would be. I think that would be a really decent rematch. Definitely, Georgia's a lot better than they were last year, so Georgia would probably kick their ass. But like I said, we see teams in the semifinals get their ass kicked every year anyway, so it might as well be somebody new.
Yeah, exactly.
And if they're undefeated, let's give it to them.
Yeah, I mean, that was beautifully said. I really don't have anything else to add to it. You hit the nail on the head. I think too, if Cincinnati was given this shot and they did play 1 seed Georgia, I feel like Cincinnati would play some Cinderella Disney type movie of a game, and they would play their fucking hearts out to represent all the little guys everywhere.
I would definitely bet on Cincinnati.
I would have to. Yeah, I would have to.
Yeah, definitely. It'd probably be a big spread, and I think that Cincinnati could probably. I know I just said they'll probably get their ass kicked, but like in that situation, I really do think that Cincy could probably like make it a game, and at least
I think they might be able to make it interesting. But I have a couple more questions about the rankings before we move on, and one more is: do you think Michigan State at 12 is low enough, or do you think they should have dropped more after getting fucking obliterated by the Buckeyes?
Well, there's still only 2 losses, and they've had quality wins over Michigan, who's 5th overall. So 12 is fine.
I don't know. I probably would have put them a little bit lower, like maybe 14, 15. Nothing crazy, but
because look at the teams behind them. You got BYU, Wisconsin, A&M, Iowa, all have 3 losses. They only have 2.
BYU doesn't have 3.
Oh, sorry, BYU has 2, right?
I'm pretty sure they have 2. Yeah.
Yeah, they lost to Baylor and Boise State. So, but it's also BYU have played, lesser competition. So I think 12 is a proper fall.
Well, damn, the coughing's coming back for me. Ooh. All right, and then my last question is: out of all these teams on the top 25, who do you think is the most overrated?
The most overrated?
Overrated, yep. I guess and both. Why not? Let's do both. Overrated and underrated.
I feel like Wake Forest is pretty overrated.
Really? Still at 18? I mean, they did get fucking clapped by Clemson.
And then underrated, I'd have to probably go Utah right behind them at 19.
I like that pick. I do like that pick, Utah. Because I think Utah can win the Pac-12. Because, I mean, they're going to play Oregon again. I think they could beat them again.
Yeah, I think so too. And then
Um,
obviously, who you're probably going to say, so I'll let you go.
oh, well, I was going to
Underrated.
say underrated. I mean, I was going to say Oklahoma State probably
Yeah,
just for
I
my
agree.
underrated.
I agree with that too.
If I had to say somebody else, though, that's tough. I think I honestly might go with Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh could have an argument to be up at like
Really?
14.
I'd
Yeah.
say Houston. I think Houston deserves to be in the teens, maybe.
Yeah, like 19, maybe. I don't
Yeah.
know. That's tough though. But maybe you're right. They've been
I
killing
don't
it.
know.
I mean,
24 just seems a little low to me.
and then are overrated for me. I think I'm gonna have to go with Wisconsin at 14. I really don't like Wisconsin still for some reason. And then
I think they've improved a lot.
they have. They definitely have. I mean, their offense has shown some competence, like they have like that 35-7 win. Like
they have that new running back that's taken over who's 17.
oh, I don't even know about him, really? 17?
Yeah, he's 17 years old. I forgot why am I blanking on his name, but he absolutely killed Nebraska. Like it literally every time they give him the ball, he was just he's a stud. And ever since they've been feeding him the ball, they've won a lot more games. It's definitely not because of Graham Mertz.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Graham Mertz. What a meme, though. What a meme. And then if I had to pick another overrated team, I'd probably maybe say Arkansas because they have 4 losses. And it's mostly not – this isn't really to knock Arkansas as much. It's more to knock the committee because I think Louisiana deserves to be ranked.
Yes.
They're 10-1. They've won 10 straight games. They just beat Liberty by like 30 points, which, I mean, the committee used to love Liberty. So, well, I mean, kind of. They used to respect Liberty for a group of 5 team.
They had them ranked.
Yeah, they had them ranked. Exactly. That was about it.
Right.
All right, and then we got some huge games this weekend. I just wanted to get our predictions for a few of them. First up, Ohio State, Michigan. I want a score prediction and who wins.
What's the spread right now?
Good question. I'm going to look that up. I don't even want to look at my betting app, bro. I probably somehow lost another bet while I wasn't even betting. I don't know, bro. I'm just so down bad right now. Fuck everything. Okay, college football. Which one? Ohio State and Michigan. Ohio State -8. That's it. And the over-under 64.5.
Well, I'm not touching that.
Yeah, I'm scared.
That fucking total. Absolutely not.
I think I might take the under in that, actually. Michigan has a pretty decent defense. They run it a lot, too.
But then Ohio State could just have one of those days.
Yeah, they could just explode for like 21 in the first quarter.
That's just something I don't want to dabble with.
Yeah, honestly, I'm probably got to stay away, too.
Michigan might be able to cover that spread. 8, that's not too bad. But
And
I'm going to go
rivalry
with
game. Remember, this Ohio State team only beat Nebraska by 9 points like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, but Nebraska is a different dog.
You're right, though. You're right.
They love covering
They
the
just
spread.
cover. Yeah,
they do. They love it. They love it. They live for it. I'm going to say 34-10 Ohio State.
34-10. Wow. Okay. I'm probably going to go with – I actually really do like that 34 score. I'm going to go with 34-27 Ohio State.
Oh, really?
Actually, no, 34-28. 34-28. Fuck it. 6.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Michigan can cover maybe. I know I said Michigan was going to win, but realistically, I think Ohio State wins it. All right, and then another big game too, even though it's not a ranked matchup, but this you never fucking know. Alabama at Auburn, the Iron Bowl last week of the season. If anybody could spoil a season, it's Auburn.
Sure.
Even though they kind of fucking suck, it's the Iron Bowl, anything can happen. We've seen the kick 6, everything.
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you got anything crazy happening, or do you think Alabama's going to take care of business?
If I had to pick a score, 45-17, Bama.
45-17. Actually, I'm going to check the spread. Alabama is let's see. 19.5 point favorites. Jeez. Okay. I mean, I agree. I don't think it's going to be anything chaotic. I would probably go with 52. I'll go 52-31. I think Auburn can at least put up some points.
I don't think
Maybe.
Bo Nix could put up 31 on Bama.
I don't think Bo Nix is going to play. I think he got benched.
Good.
Yeah, he's not that good. I agree. Yeah,
terrible.
He's like the Graham Mertz of the SEC, bro. All right, and then last one, Bedlam, Oklahoma at Oklahoma State. Who do you got?
I'm going to say 24-21 Oklahoma State.
That is literally what I was exactly going to say, 24-21. Yeah, I agree. No, I 100% agree. I think it's going to be relatively low scoring for Oklahoma. But Oklahoma State, I think, is the better team, so they're going to win it in a close one.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, it's a rivalry game, so no matter what, it's got to be close.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, I like it. All right, those are really the biggest games of the weekend, barring any crazy upset, such as like Notre Dame losing to, I think they play Eastern Carolina this week, but whatever. All right, anyway, on to the title portion of the episode. We got a new football league. This kind of came out of nowhere yesterday. Elijah, did you see anything of it?
No, this is actually the first time hearing about it.
Oh wait, first let's go ahead and get rid of the screen there for college football. But yeah, so there is a new football league. I guess it's not technically a new league, it's a revived league. It is the new USFL, the United States Football League, pretty self-explanatory. It is a revival of a football league founded in 1983. Yeah. And it's set to start play in the spring of 2022. So in April it's going to like April to late June is the season. So yeah, how do you feel about this?
Fun fact about the OG USFL, Donald Trump was a very big investor in the 1980s USFL.
Wait, really?
Yeah, and that's kind of one of the reasons why he's had this long-standing rivalry with the NFL. And if you remember when he was president, he had those comments towards NFL players kneeling, and some people think that was because of his long-standing rivalry with Goodell. Because he also shit-talked Goodell in that same speech. People kind of forget about that. But that's one of the reasons. Kind of funny. Also, quarterback Jim Kelly was drafted by a USFL team, and he actually played for the Houston USFL team for a couple of years before he eventually went to Buffalo, because he didn't want to play in Buffalo because it was cold. So fun fact there. And another fun fact about the USFL is, do you remember the undefeated Dolphins and their 3 running back trio? Sonka.
Well, I know the undefeated Dolphins, yeah.
But their running back trio was famous for, that's what made that offense. It was a fullback, a quicker, it was a black guy running back, and then old white running back. And they a big USFL splash was that they signed all 3 guys to play for one team again, which was kind of cool. But
Dave, you're pulling out all the facts. You just said you just heard about this.
I know, dude. I'm like Rain Man sometimes. I just start pulling, every football documentary that I've ever remembered.
Just fucking stare into a wall and just recall everything.
Yeah. It's back, and I don't know. It's weird that this is a yearly thing now.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a once a year thing. We have a new football league now.
I'm still sad about the XFL. I think it really could have been something if it got the chance.
I do too.
It had the opportunity to as well, because they're when it was going on, because we did a project about it. First week, kick ass. Second week was really good too, and then the numbers started declining for the XFL. And then, as we all know, COVID changed the world and killed it and ruined it, just like it did everything else.
I really think the XFL actually could have been something if it wasn't for COVID.
Yeah, because the investors had money in there for it to go on for 3 years. So they were prepared to take losses because they knew, okay, we're going to take some hits, but if we establish this.
Yeah, it could be something.
It could be something later on down the line. And then, COVID.
It just didn't. So. Yeah. Yeah. Also, there was, the AAF too recently, not even just the XFL. There was like, what the fuck happened to the AAF? Do you remember that one?
Crumbled. It didn't make any money. So like they started it and then they went bankrupt and then a millionaire or somebody bought it and then they lost all their money on it and they're like, this sucks, or canceling it. This is terrible. So like they didn't even finish the season on that and they went bankrupt twice in 10 weeks.
Yikes, dude. Yikes. But the teams for I know in the past the USFL used to have, it had 12 teams, then 18 teams, and then for the third and final year, it had 14 teams. But this year, they're going to start rolling out with 8 teams, and they're hoping eventually to expand, assuming everything goes well. But the 8 teams, are you ready for this? We got the Michigan Panthers, the Birmingham Stallions, the New Jersey Generals, the Houston Gamblers, that's us, baby, the Philadelphia Stars, the New Orleans Breakers, the Pittsburgh Maulers, and the Tampa Bay Bandits.
Really, Dallas isn't on the team?
Nah, Dallas does not have a team.
That's
but
fucked.
Yeah, I know Houston was one of the OG teams, I know, so I guess they brought that back.
Yeah, Houston, but they had a different name, though, I think.
No, I think it was still, because I saw
Gamblers?
like a picture of the logo, yeah.
Oh, really? Yeah, because that was the team that Jim Kelly played for.
It doesn't make sense to me why they're the Gamblers, like, because it's not even legal in Texas.
I know. I was thinking that same thing. Maybe because of Texas Hold'em.
I guess, but they should save that name for a Vegas team. Somewhat of a correlation, I guess. But I don't know. I mean, I guess that's who I'm going to root for because they're one in Texas and also they're the Gamblers. So why not? But it's weird to root for a Houston team.
Yeah. So it's going to be a spring league starting after Super Bowl, just like all the other ones.
Yeah, it's going to start in April and then go into late June. They're going to have some sort of playoffs. It's split into 2 leagues, the North and the South. They're hoping to expand after this year. But what is your over-under on how long this league lasts?
1.5.
1.5. I think that's a good number.
And I'm going under.
I am too. I think I give it, honestly, probably less than a full season. I think it literally might get to like halfway through and they just collapse. If they get through a full season and through playoffs and everything, I will commend them. That would be sick.
I don't know, because there's buzz like off the USFL, the OG one, that it could have taken over the NFL.
Yeah, and competed. I remember I saw something about that.
So
I just don't think it's possible.
Oh, that will never happen now.
Yeah.
It's too late. But I don't know. I mean, maybe they could do a second season, but I don't know. Because there is a need for like spring football. There's definitely been like, there's a reason why all these people keep investing millions of dollars into a spring football league. It's because there's, numbers that show people want more football after the Super Bowl,
Yeah, I think like every other sport in the world basically has some sort of minor league system almost. Like the NBA has the G League, the MLB has God knows how many minor league, The NHL has minor league systems as well. I mean, you got to get it going somewhat. I don't know if it even needs to directly be correlated to the NFL. Just have something, and like you could even pull those guys to the league. I'm sure
it's pretty much college, which is the minor league.
I mean, I guess, yeah, but it's.
But also too, I mean, a lot of guys came from the XFL. Like, I mean, Taylor Heineke was an XFL player.
PJ Walker.
PJ Walker, backup for the Panthers. Jordan Ta'amu, who last I heard he was the practice squad player for the Chiefs. Practice squad QB. I don't know what he's up to now. That was like a year ago. So
I'm curious to see what kind of players we're going to see though in the USFL, because back whenever it was originally playing, they had some big name people. They had like Reggie White, Herschel Walker. They had a few pretty big name guys.
I don't know. Probably Cardale Jones.
Cardale Jones will show up, bro.
Johnny Football will be there.
Yep, Johnny Manziel, Josh Gordon probably, because he can't get reinstated.
Well, no, Josh Gordon's playing for the Chiefs right now, dude.
Is he playing right now?
Yeah, for the Chiefs.
I thought he got suspended again right after he got reinstated.
No.
Oh, wow.
No, he was at the game on Sunday. I was watching the Cowboys game. He showed up. I was like, hey, Josh Gordon, what's up?
Oh, yeah, that lovely Cowboys game.
I'll talk about it. Um,
It is what it is.
Ron to Las Vegas. Try to think who else would probably be a likely suspect.
We'll probably see Kevontae Turpin, bro, the TCU guy.
Terp's done.
Hey, he played in the Fan Control Football League last year. That's another league too that's supposed to be continuing, the Fan Controlled Football League. It's like way smaller. It's literally like 5v5 or some shit like that.
Yeah, but it's basically like arena football.
Yeah, it's definitely more similar to that. But it's kind of cool because like the fans get to pick the plays and everything.
Yeah, that's weird. I never got into it though.
Like, I mean, neither. I tried.
Yeah, I tried like watching like 5 minutes of a game, and I was like, "This sucks," and I turned it off.
Yeah, it's definitely different, but I feel like it would be fun if you're really drunk and like you got to call a play. And you're like, "Yes, come on!" You want your play to work. I don't know.
Yeah,
that would be cool.
Know.
All right. Anyway, moving on. That's really all we got about the USFL. I'm excited. I mean, I'm excited for some sort of spring football. I'll probably watch it, not religiously, like I won't follow every game, but I'll watch it if I'm watching TV and it's on.
I'll play some lines. I'll play some bets.
Honestly, that might make it even more entertaining. Yeah, you got to play some lines. But anyway, moving on to some real football and other sports. We got a whole bunch of sports going on in this segment. So winners and losers from this weekend. This is mostly football probably, but it's across all sports as well. Both Elijah and I have some winners and losers picked out. How do you want to go off? Do you want to start with maybe
alternate?
Let's alternate. All right, so I'll start off.
So let's do winners and then losers, but then you go, I go, you go, I go.
All right, bet. So I'm starting out with a winner first, and my winner is New York Giants fans everywhere. Even though they got clobbered by the Buccaneers, which was somewhat expected for them, they still won. They got rid of Jason Garrett. It's still a W for them. Giants fans, I don't know a single Giant fan that was happy with Jason Garrett as their OC. Even Des Bryant chimed in and tweeted that now Kadarius Toney is gonna be free and realize he loves football again without Jason Garrett. So seems like they kind of had the balls to make the decision, and good for Giants fans.
Yeah. I thought there's a chance that Jason Garrett could reclaim his career and maybe get another head coaching gig, but not anymore. I don't think he's done with football, though. I don't think
he'll probably get another job.
Either.
Yeah.
Probably not as an OC, but as an offensive assistant somewhere.
Maybe even like a special teams coach.
No, probably just like a position coach
of some sort. Yeah,
RBs or some shit. I don't know. But
yeah, I could see that. I mean, not gonna. He knows his shit. So like.
Yeah, I mean, he's not gonna get a premier job.
Yeah. I wouldn't hire him for at least a head coaching job.
But no, sure. I think I could definitely see in like 3 or 4 years somebody just being like, "Oh yeah, we hired Jason Garrett as our OC."
Potentially down the line, yeah, but not this year.
Not next year. It's going to be in like 3 or 4 years. Mark my words. So my winner first up is going to be Steelers fans. So yeah, y'all lost Sunday night, but Big Ben looked awesome. And that's coming from somebody who did not want to see Big Ben return this year because he's a bag of bones. So he's so old.
He's a trash bag full of pulp.
Yeah,
that's basically what he is.
But he looked good. He was putting the ball in the right places. Obviously, the zip wasn't there, but he's shown that he can be on some nights a smart veteran QB. He knows where to place the ball. He knows where to put the ball. His mind is still there, just his body isn't. And sometimes that can get you somewhere. And it did. It got them, 30?
Within the game.
7 points?
Yeah.
So good for y'all.
A huge fourth quarter comeback, yeah.
It's a win.
All right. Do you want to stay on winners or go to losers and like switch like that?
Stay on winners.
All right. My next winner is... This is including me for one of my leagues. Jonathan Taylor, fantasy football owners everywhere. Oh my God, what a week. If you have him on your team and you didn't win your game this week, you probably, I don't know how. That's probably not even possible. But he is a league winner right now, looking like
Yeah.
he might be a champion. You know what I mean? League winner. He's one of those guys that's going to get you into the playoffs, going to get you at least one playoff win probably based on his recent workload. Because holy shit, 53 points in a PPR league, which was 6 points away from the best fantasy performance of all time, set by Jamal Charles. Excuse me.
Yeah, that was nuts. So in my league, I have the most points scored, but I'm very afraid to play the guy who has Jonathan Taylor right now in the playoffs because his team is way better ever since he's taken off. So yeah, that was crazy. 5 touchdowns.
Oh my god, it was beautiful, bro. It was beautiful. Yeah, that for that team that I have Jonathan Taylor on, I have Jonathan Taylor, DeAndre Swift, and James Robinson right now, who are all like top 15. So that's beautiful. But the only thing though is I had Calvin Ridley and Amari Cooper. Both of them are out. So Hunter Renfrow is my wide receiver 1 right now.
That's tough.
That is tough. Unless you count Travis Kelce.
There's also been buzz for Jonathan Taylor MVP.
Dude, I mean at this point, he should definitely be in the conversation, bro.
I mean, all the main MVP QB candidates have missed time.
Yeah, and he could potentially even offensive player of the year as well.
Yeah,
like alongside Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, those two are right there neck and neck, I would say. Now, after that performance.
Yeah, he just spiked up a lot, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what do you got?
Nebraska spread bettors. They just keep covering. So that's really all I have on that, is that they're winners. So
I think both of us took Nebraska this week, yeah?
We did.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah.
All right, my next winner, switching things up outside of football, going to Formula One. If you've been listening lately, you've known that I've kind of dove headfirst into Formula One these past couple months, and I'm absolutely loving it. And another one of my winners from this past weekend is Fernando Alonso. He got a podium for Alpine Racing right behind Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen, which was his first podium in Formula One since 2014. And if you don't know about Fernando Alonso, he is, I don't know exactly how old he is, but he's in his 40s and he is still racing, which is crazy. So I saw like a graphic of the last time Fernando Alonso made a podium, like Apple Watch was being introduced, and like Lewis Hamilton had just won his first championship and now he has like 7. So it's like, it was a while ago.
Wow.
So good for him. It was cool to see. He's definitely one of the fan favorite drivers. And he's one of my winners this week.
Okay, next up, I got ESPN, because they have been a content factory for LeBron after he elbowed Isaiah Stewart in the face in that whole fake fight deal.
Yeah.
So they've definitely won in that situation by getting a lot of content. Stephen A has had many of takes about this situation. Which, did you see that whole thing go down?
Yeah, so I didn't see it like all in one, but I seen like
saw the video
how it initiated like down on the block with like the LeBron elbowing him. And then I did see the video too of Isaiah Stewart just fucking running after him, bro, and like being
what the fuck was that?
Dude, I don't know, man. He looked like that was some like middle school playground type shit, dude.
Dude, I saw that as him like barreling through coach, because that's a big man. Like he probably weighs like 270.
Yeah.
6'9", 6'10". Just barreling through people, running full sprint. Like that's scary. And it's just like, what are you doing?
And also, what the fuck are you gonna do to LeBron? You know what I mean? Like, what are you really gonna do?
Yeah, what are you really gonna do? I hope he gets cut and never, like, that was just like straight up like, no, like I like, because that was like Mouse at the Palace vibes. Have you seen that documentary?
Yes,
about it?
I have.
Very good. Yeah, that whole situation. But I definitely got vibes of that. Like, I don't know. And then like he took off running, and there was a chance that he could have gone to the other side in the tunnels. Yeah, that guy. What a dumbass.
That guy, dude.
Dumbass. But
yeah, that was a bit extreme. I mean, like, I get you're angry. I get it's in the heat of the moment, but like
LeBron is many things.
Yeah. Like, what were you saying?
LeBron's many things, but he's not a dirty player.
Yeah, and LeBron like was pretty apologetic after it. Like he like was like, I really didn't mean to, and like his teammates even attested. They were like, look, LeBron wouldn't do anything like intentionally like that. He's not trying to. And but the thing is too, just like with that run up and everything, whenever you get there, like your end goal, assuming your end goal is to get to LeBron face to face, what the fuck are you gonna do? Like, are you gonna punch him?
He was gonna
No.
shove him really hard.
I mean, I guess, but like, still though, like, are you gonna do that? Because I'm sure Isaiah Stewart looked up to LeBron growing up. Like that was probably one of his idols, and now he's just
Probably.
having a rage monster fit.
He probably is gonna be out of a job after this season. I wouldn't vote that guy.
Maybe. What did you think about the ESPN or not the ESPN, the NBA, the league punishments? Isaiah Stewart got a 2-game suspension. LeBron got a 1-game suspension.
I don't know if LeBron deserved to be suspended, but they did
Yeah,
it.
I agree.
But I mean, I guess there's an argument there for it, but definitely, yeah. I'm glad that Isaiah Stewart got more than LeBron did because, like, literally the way he acted, I'm like, I can't believe you right now. Because
Yeah,
first he was like all chill, right? He was like, oh, what the hell? And then he started bleeding. And then as soon as he got away from LeBron, he started acting like a bull in a china shop, literally. And it's just like, dude, like, what are you doing? Like, what are you trying to prove? Trying to act all hard? Like, you're acting like an idiot.
Yeah, no, exactly. I agree. And some of the LeBron haters were like, "Oh, of course the league gave LeBron less of a punishment." It's like, well, I mean, he didn't really
You
deserve
see the
much.
video?
Like, yeah, like have you seen the videos? Like, he
He
didn't
was
really
very
deserve
calm
much.
after he hit that guy in the face.
Yeah,
The other guy wasn't so calm, you
yeah.
know?
God damn it, Isaiah. All right. Anyway, moving on. My last winner I got is going to be the Tampa Bay Rays. Even though it's the offseason right now, they just signed a couple days ago Wander Franco, who, if you don't know, was the #1 prospect last year that they pulled up into the big leagues. Wander Franco, he looks legit. I mean, he has all the tools you need for the big leagues. They just signed him to a 12-year, $185 million deal, up to $223 million deal in incentives. And the main reason I have them as winners is because Wander Franco is the kind of player in this market that could have signed for $400 million. So to get him for 12 years at that price is honestly a fucking steal. Like, look at what the Padres just did with Fernando Tatis last offseason.
Right.
So I think that's a pretty good deal. He's definitely the player of the future. Good for the Rays. They look like they might be good for the next few
So
years.
here's why I think the Rays prove again why their general manager is the best in the business, and their front office in general, is because, like, he's only had 1 year in the majors, right?
Mm-hmm.
Guys don't deserve that contract after 1 year in the majors, but they're following a roadmap that was set up by the Atlanta Braves when they signed big contracts to Ronald Acuna Jr. and Ozzie Albies after their first couple years in the leagues. But they gave them multi-year. Like, I think they gave Acuna 150, and which was and then Albies 6 years 100, and it was before the players that they were today, but it was when after their first couple of years they showed promise,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, I'm pretty sure they could live up to this contract, and now the Braves have those guys on a bargain. And another thing too is that the Rays have been a historically cheap franchise, so let's say Wander Franco, odds are that he's going to live up to this contract and he's going to be a bargain on this contract.
Yeah.
In 5 or 6 years, if the Rays are down again and they're not good, they could trade this. They could trade Wander Franco and get a boatload of prospects in return because he's on such a team-friendly contract.
Yeah.
If he lives up to his potential, so like they're thinking, this is literally like 4D chess right now. Like,
Yeah, it's like a
5 steps
win-win no
ahead.
matter what for them.
Win-win
Yeah.
no matter, unless he just completely sucks.
Or has
Like,
some sort of fluke injury, not to speak that
and
into
then
existence, but
never return again. But like, which is what you have to think about when you sign a guy to a 12-year contract. But like, this is just a really smart deal overall. I think it was the right move, even though it is pretty risky to sign a guy only after being called up for, I don't know how many games did he play, 100.
I don't even think he played 100. It was like,
Yeah.
I think he got called up after the All-Star break.
So less than 100 MLB games and signing a guy to a 12-year,
Yeah,
$200 million deal.
he looked
That's
pretty
risky.
damn good in the games.
Yeah,
but
that's
yeah.
risky, but it is like it's also smart.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I see what they're doing there, especially the potential to trade him on a would-be team-friendly deal. Like it's just genius, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, that's why they're the winners this week. All right, what you got?
Anyone whose NFL team is around 500. So I've kind of a lot of us have been kind of writing off teams, that just don't have it, or around like 6-5, or just around 500. But we forgot that there's an extra playoff spot, and a lot of these teams are still in it. So the Vikings are still in it. The Saints are still in the playoff race. Believe it or not, the Panthers are still in the playoff race. The Eagles could make a playoff push out of nowhere. So anyone who's a fan of any one of those teams that are around 500 that thought they were going to be out and then all of a sudden won 2 games in a row and are back in it are big winners this week.
Wait, I can't believe that the Eagles are actually in playoff contention.
They're not in it, but they're in the hunt.
I know, yeah, they're in the hunt right now, but that's wild, yeah. I didn't even realize they were 5-6. Yeah, no, I mean, you're right. It is definitely a bit easier to make the playoffs. I mean, it looks like right now easier. I don't know whether it would be easier in the AFC or the NFC, because like the AFC just has so many damn teams around the same record.
Mm-hmm.
But the NFC also has like they have a few pretty solid wild card games. Yeah, like the Niners.
The Niners,
and the Rams.
who we've written off, have a chance now.
Yeah. Even the Vikings, shit, bro. 5-5 Vikings.
Vikings definitely have a chance.
Could get in there. Could sneak in there.
I think they're in right now, actually.
The Saints could sneak in as well. Oh yeah, you're right. The Vikings are in right now.
Mm-hmm.
The Saints could sneak in. I doubt it though. Just after they got pretty clapped by the Eagles this past weekend.
Yeah.
All right, let's moving on to losers though. My first loser of this past weekend is the University of Texas and all of their fans. After the Kansas loss, they now lost to West Virginia on the road in Morgantown, which equates 7 straight losses, which is just absolutely beautiful from our perspective. I love seeing it. The program is in shambles right now. You got alumni calling for Steve Sarkisian's head. They already want to buy out his contract for $20 million. There are people ready to jump ship already. So you love to see it from an outsider's perspective. Yeah. They're definitely one of my losers. They're not going to make a bowl game either. Their downfall has been nuts this year.
Yeah. Give Sark a chance, though.
Let him, I agree, though. I think Sark needs a couple of years.
I think that they have a big culture problem.
They do. They definitely do.
With that video. Like, I think that he needs a couple of years to get his guys in and get some shit sorted out. So just have some patience, I guess.
No, I agree. I think they need to give him a chance. It's just he came into such a shit situation. And I think that's a big part of it. You're right. It's the culture. Mm-hmm. Like, you got to get the right players in there.
My big loser is Mel Tucker in Michigan State. So they just signed into a 10 or 12-year deal.
Yeah, big deal.
Be a huge, very long deal. And as soon as they announced it, they got their shit canned.
Yeah, handed to them
by Ohio State. It would have been a lot better, like, even if they lost, if it was like, I don't know, just like a close game or like whatever, like, Ohio State comeback, or if they even held the lead at one point, but they lost by like 50-something points or whatever. And I don't know, just a tough way to kick off.
Yeah, the new
Mel Tucker era, I guess. So,
especially because if you had won that game, you had playoff hopes. So,
yep.
Yeah, that was. I mean, I can't really say I'm shocked, but I am shocked that it happened that brutally. I did think Ohio State would win big, but Jesus, that was bad. Mm-hmm. All right. My next loser is going to soccer this time, the real football. Manchester United. Not the fans, not the coach, not the players, just the entire club of Manchester United. This afternoon, actually, they did get a win in the Champions League, but ignoring that, they've been doing absolutely abysmal in the Premier League lately. Cristiano Ronaldo, I feel like Manchester United is the only team in the world that could find a way to get worse with Cristiano Ronaldo on the field, even though he is scoring every goddamn game for them. Like literally every game, he is getting a goal for them. And they're at the point they just lost to Watford, 18th place Watford, 4-1. And they're probably I don't know if it's already happened. I don't think it has happened, but it's like 100% happening in the next few days. Old Gunnar Solskjaer is going to be sacked as their
Oh,
manager.
he already is.
He already is? Okay, yeah, so done. Yeah, they're searching. Yeah, oh, you're right. It is. It's Michael what's his name? Michael Carriwack, I think. Something. Hold on, this is gonna bother me now. I gotta know. My buddy sent it earlier. Michael Carrick. Yes, Michael Carrick is at the wheel for Manchester United right now. He's interim, but they're looking for another manager. So yes, old Gunner is out of there. The club's in shambles in terms of league play, but I guess that Champions League win might do something for them. But they're one of my losers.
I got Texas Rangers fans as my loser.
God.
So we have a lot of buzz right now that we're going to sign one of the big shortstops that are out in free agency, like Carlos Correa, Marcus Semien, Trevor Story,
That would be
Corey
really
Seager. There's big buzz that we're going to get one of those guys, and it's just going to end in disappointment for us, like it always does. We're going to lowball that free agent say, "Fuck you! I'm going to go get $50 million more elsewhere," and then we're going to go back to being shit and have no big free agents in our stadium, which was the whole point of building the stadium that we have, so you get more big time free agents. So yeah.
Like at least Joey Gallo was an attraction on the shit team, but like now there is no attraction. And I mean Joey Gallo was like at the kind of like the end of his career ish, but
end of his hype because then he rounded out into the player that we know him to be. But yeah, just sad times. So
I don't know. Have some hope. You never know.
Maybe we'll get one. Maybe we'll actually fork up the dough.
Yeah, that would be nice. All right, my next loser is Michael Porter Jr.'s nerves. So if you didn't hear, Michael Porter Jr. might be out for the rest of the season with some sort of nerve damage and stuff like that. And it's really upsetting because, MPJ was one of those guys that a lot of people, including us, had poised as a potential breakout player this year. He had been doing really well for the Nuggets this year. He's also going to be without a good Nuggets team, that makes it a little bit less entertaining for the playoff picture in the West. But it is what it is. So his nerves are one of my losers.
Yeah, nerve damage is hard to come back from.
Yeah, it's shit, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember that with the whole Jalen Smith saga with the Cowboys because he got a bunch of nerve damage, and it's just well, they could either come back or they won't. And it's when? And it's well, it could be next month. Okay. Or it could be never.
Yeah.
So you literally don't know, which is incredibly infuriating. So my big loser is the Lions. They're definitely going to end up with the number 1 overall pick. And it's definitely the worst draft to have the number 1 overall pick because there's no quarterback worth that slot.
They got Kayvon Thibodeau though.
Cool.
I mean, he's really good though.
Yeah, he is really good. So I don't know. If I was Lions too, I'd probably want to build more too, and then get a quarterback, kind of like how the Dolphins waited for Tua.
Yeah, you could even. I think this is one of those drafts where you could potentially find a gem like Dak and or something because the top guys really aren't top guys. You might be able to find something.
I mean, that's any draft though.
I mean, you're right, but I don't know. I feel like this one might be one of those diamond in the rough type years.
It could be, yeah. I mean, just because we're all talking about how shit it is.
Yeah.
But then it also could be one of those drafts where Mike Glennon turns out to be, the leader in passing yards for that draft year.
Oh my God, that was so bullshit from that sports
EJ
quiz.
Manuel is the first quarterback taken off, But I think Kenny Pickett will probably be a decent quarterback. He's just not worth first overall pick.
Yeah, and then even Sam Hartman too at Wake Forest. He's
Matt Corral.
I think Corral might be something.
Okay.
I don't know if he's going to be. Do you think he'll be drafted this year? Is he in the
he
mock
declared
drafts?
for the draft?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So I think there's buzz that he could be a first round pick.
I mean, I think he definitely. You could make a case for it for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right, though. And my last loser of the week is going to be anybody who says the term time to tighten the fuck up. And yes, I am talking to you, Zach, from Betting on the Rocks podcast. And yes, you, Noah, from the Blanket Coverage podcast. Two Titan fans here at the GTD Sports Network. And I hate it. I don't know why. I feel like if I was a Titan fan, I would love it. I would be like, oh, time to tighten it back up. But I don't know why. It just annoys me because they get so hyped and then they lose to the fucking Texans.
Don't you say like who day?
Barely. I mean, it's like.
But you love it though.
I do. You're right. I do.
Kind of like how I love saying America's team.
Yeah, you're right. That's what I'm saying. I feel like if I was a Titans fan, I would love it. But I don't know why. It's like it's almost up there with the terrible towel. For probably not as bad as a terrible towel, but terrible towel is so annoying. It's gross. But
it's pretty gross.
Again, it would be cool if I was a Steelers fan. I'd be like, oh yeah, we have fucking towels, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm not, so I hate it. So
right.
Sorry, I just had to get that
out of your system.
Yeah, I had to get it out.
You feel better now?
I do. I feel much better. Sorry, Zach and Noah, but it is what it is.
Okay. All right. Love it or loathe it.
Oh, all right. Yeah, that was it for the losers.
Yeah.
All righty. You want first batch? Or you want me to take it?
I'll take it.
All righty. First up, we got Tennessee Titans release Adrian Peterson.
I loathe it. That was quick.
I know, right? It was kind of bummer.
Short-lived.
Oh. All righty. Then we got this one's one of my favorite. The last time the Texas Longhorns won a game, the Texas Rangers also won a game on the same day, yet the Rangers season ended on October 3rd.
That's wild.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna love it. I don't have much to add to it because that's it, but that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's nuts, dude. I can't believe that. All right. Because they both won a game on October 2nd. So,
damn.
All right. Yeah, and technically, because of the timing, so the Texas game was at 11 a.m. and the Rangers game was at 6 p.m. But if it was swapped, you could say the Rangers have won a game more recently than the Longhorns. But, I mean, basically same thing.
True.
All right, next up, Colt McCoy is currently the only quarterback to start and win a game in Seattle in each of the last 2 seasons.
I love that. Colt McCoy, man, I feel like he's been doing this for 10 years since he's been in the league. He'll just show up out of nowhere and win you a game.
Yep.
Like I remember when he was still a younger guy, he did it with the Redskins against the Cowboys in a primetime game. I think it was either Sunday Night Football or Monday Night Football. But he threw like 300 yards and beat us because I remember being so infuriated, being like, how the fuck is Colt McCoy beating us? But he keeps on doing it for his whole career. Like he'll come in and he'll just win a game.
Yeah. All right, and then last one. According to sources, Matt Nagy will coach his last football game with the Bears on Thanksgiving. Ooh, I didn't even hear about this.
The world is free. Lions money line plus 155. Book it now.
Oh, I love that. I'm taking that.
I'm taking it too. Even though if it doesn't win, I don't care. I just want something to actively root for and be a part of. And it's definitely not going to be Bears football on Thanksgiving while I wait for dinner at 2 p.m., as is the custom for Thanksgiving. So, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a fun Thanksgiving pick to root for.
Yeah. So, I don't even give a fuck about the points. I want money.
All right.
But, yeah, so I hope that Matt Nagy, world is free, NFL free. I don't know if you've seen this, Ryan, but KD puts Cam Thomas in his place after Thomas said he could beat him one-on-one.
I have not seen this, actually.
Okay, so basically, like, I guess Thomas went like 4 for 7, had a couple of decent amount of points, and then in this post-game presser after he played KD, he was like, yeah, I could beat KD one-on-one. And KD said that, yeah, I would beat him 13-5. And the 5 points he would get is when I had my back turned and I let him get those points.
All right, I'm going to love that in that case. KD's kind of just a media troll, bro. Anytime. He's always funny anywhere in the media. Cam Thomas, barely even know who that is. So obviously you shouldn't be talking like that against KD. So I love that.
The Falcons have scored 3 points in their last 8 quarters of football.
I'm going to love it just because of how absurd this is for an NFL team to be doing this bad, especially considering the Falcons aren't really a team that you would think to be that bad. You would kind of assort these stats with maybe the Jags or the Jets, but the Falcons, Matt Ryan, come on. Like, I just think it's kind of funny though, so I'm going to love it.
Yeah, and it's crazy because the Patriots scored 25 unanswered points against the Falcons. Like, when has that ever happened before?
28-3. Forever and always.
Mac Jones currently has more wins than the rest of the 2021 QB class combined.
I love this one as well. This makes my prediction. I believe you also, or what was your prediction for rookie quarterbacks? I forget.
Rookie of the year?
Yeah.
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones? Yeah, okay. So this makes our prediction look good. I said from the beginning I thought Mac Jones was going to have the best career. He definitely seems like he's been fit into the right system. So it's kind of nuts to think he has more wins than all of them combined. But, I mean, that is the case for now. That won't last long, but for now it's kind of a cool stat.
The new Spider-Man trailer come out, and the multiverse theories are in full swing.
All right, so I'm going to love this one. This is just all loves this time. This has nothing to do with sports, but you kind of had to talk about it. It's big pop culture right now. Have you seen any of the theories for Spider-Man?
So I haven't seen this newest trailer, but I remember the last one. I think it was the lizard.
Yeah, his neck, like he gets
his
kicked.
Neck break, and they're like, who was edited out of there? And I know that Andrew Garfield has been in the news, like, oh, I'm not in it, and Tobey Maguire, no, I'm not in it. But like, I'm gonna freak out if Tobey Maguire is not in this new Spider-Man movie. Like, that is my Spider-Man. Those are my favorite. Spider-Man's still my favorite superhero because of those Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies. And so, like, if he's not there, Andrew Garfield too, because I also liked him.
I liked it. Yeah, I thought he did good.
I'm gonna be pissed.
Yeah, I am gonna be pissed. I want to see the whole multiverse. I don't know how it might be complicated. I've seen a meme too of like how it's like fans are like, "Oh, yay, we want just a normal superhero versus villain," and then it's like Marvel fucking multiverse dimension alien fucking.
Well, that's how the comic books worked out. Like the comic books got to that point. So
yeah, I like it honestly, even though it's a bit complicated. I love it. So. Alrighty, that is all we got for today's episode. Again, like I said, we still got to work out exactly what we want to do for our other pick. Oh, let's go, baby. Gonzaga's up 16-6. Let's fucking go. Actually, I shouldn't talk. I'm gonna knock on wood. Knock on wood.
Yeah, as I'd say, you shouldn't be so.
I shouldn't be hyped. Yeah, I can be excited for now. But if it hits though, I'm gonna be pissed. I didn't go all in like I said I was going to. I backed out. But anyway. Regardless of our picks, we'll be back probably sometime this week. We may have to work something out. I don't know exactly yet. Stay tuned on our social media over at GTD_sports. We'll be posting updates there on what we decide to do. But for now, thanks for listening and have a happy Thanksgiving if we don't talk to you guys until then. Elijah, you got anything to add?
No.
All righty. We'll see y'all probably later in the week. But if not, have a good Thanksgiving with your family, and we'll talk next time.